Harry Kane collapsed and vomited on the training pitch in Los Angeles after a savage confrontation with Thomas Tuchel, and the entire England squad froze mid-drill while medical staff sprinted across the field. It wasn't just any argument. It wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't the press exaggerating. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen days before a World Cup opener. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. Witnesses say medical staff initially thought it was heat stroke until they heard what led up to it. And the worst hasn't even come to light yet. Over the next few minutes, you'll understand exactly what happened and why this changes everything for England at the World Cup. Because when this happens, 4 days before you face Iran, it's not just any problem. This is the captain. This is Harry Kane, more than 60 goals for England, the man who's led the line for years. And now, sources close to the squad are saying the rift between him and Tuchel had been building for weeks. That the dressing room is split and that Kane's place in the starting 11 is genuinely in question. You, as a fan, know what this means. And the behind the scenes of this is worse than it looks. It all started around 10:30 in the morning at England's training base outside Los Angeles. The sun was already brutal. Tuchel had the squad running an 11 versus 11 possession drill. High intensity, the kind of session that exposes every weakness in your conditioning. And he'd already blown his whistle 3 times in 10 minutes. The third time, he walked directly toward Harry Kane. According to sources close to the squad, Tuchel stopped the drill to criticize Kane's pressing intensity, reportedly telling him his movement off the ball wasn't meeting the standard required for the World Cup opener. Witnesses say Kane's face was flushed and he fired back something sharp. Tuchel allegedly stepped closer, gesturing emphatically, the tension crackling across the pitch. That's when Harry Kane turned away mid-sentence, doubled over, and vomited onto the grass near the center circle. The whistle went silent. Players from both practice teams froze. John Stones stood motionless. Declan Rice took a step forward, then stopped. Medical staff sprinted onto the field while Thomas Tuchel stood there for several seconds without moving, then walked toward the tunnel without a word. Training resumed 20 minutes later. Harry Kane wasn't there. But this didn't come out of nowhere. The thing is, this tension had been building for weeks. Sources say Tuchel has privately questioned whether Kane's recent dip in pace makes him suitable for the high-pressing system England needs to get out of a difficult group. Kane reportedly felt undermined after being substituted in both pre-tournament friendlies despite scoring in one of them. Teammates noticed the captain had been unusually quiet in team meetings, his usual leadership presence dimmed. On one side, you've got Tuchel's camp. The manager needs every player meeting physical benchmarks. Sentimentality about reputation can't override tactical requirements. England has younger, faster striker options if Kane can't adapt. Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins are right there. On the other side, you've got Kane's allies. The captain has earned trust through consistency and goals. Questioning his fitness publicly humiliates the squad leader. And in the middle, players like Jude Bellingham and Kobbie Mainoo, who respect Tuchel's intensity, demands, but don't want to be seen taking sides against the captain. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for the end. The dressing room is split quietly. Senior players like John Stones and Jordan Pickford are reportedly uncomfortable with public criticism of the captain. But younger players, according to insiders, privately respect Tuchel's demand for standards. Jude Bellingham, who's shared a dressing room with Harry Kane for years, allegedly agrees with Tuchel's intensity requirements even if he won't say it out loud. Declan Rice reportedly tried to mediate between Kane and Tuchel before the blow-up, but couldn't bridge the gap. Thomas Tuchel has stayed silent publicly. The FA released no statement. But unofficially, sources say they're deeply concerned about optics and squad morale 4 days before the tournament begins. Social media exploded immediately. Some fans defend Kane as irreplaceable, the proven goal scorer who's delivered in major tournaments. Others argue England's World Cup hopes depend on ruthless selection regardless of reputation. British tabloids are hunting for eyewitness accounts, and speculation is swirling about whether Kane will start the opener. And now, the consequences. Harry Kane trained separately the following day, reportedly undergoing medical checks described only as precautionary. But Tuchel must finalize his starting 11 within 72 hours. The clock is ticking. England faces Iran on June 11th, and there's no time for prolonged drama. If Kane doesn't start, it would mark the first time in years England opens a major tournament without him leading the line. Tactical adjustments would ripple through the entire system. Ivan Toney is the immediate beneficiary, and Ollie Watkins knows it too. Now, Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he benches Kane or reduces his minutes, he risks fracturing the dressing room and losing the one proven goal scorer who's delivered when it matters. But if he backs down and accommodates Kane's conditioning, he signals that status overrides standards, potentially losing credibility with younger players like Kobbie Mainoo and Morgan Rogers, who've been held to stricter rules. And there's a detail almost nobody noticed. Sources suggest a coaching staff member allegedly filmed part of the confrontation on a tablet during tactical review before realizing the situation was escalating and stopping the recording. Whether that footage still exists, nobody's confirming. And according to insiders, a private meeting between Kane and Tuchel happened that evening, but neither has confirmed what was said. One source claims an apology was offered but won't say by whom. This is the weight of captaincy colliding with the weight of a manager's system. Harry Kane has carried England for years, but Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League by demanding tactical discipline without exception. And look, this is far from over. This is the information going around so far. Over the next few hours, new details should drip out, and they could turn this whole story upside down. Over to you. Should Thomas Tuchel start Harry Kane in England's World Cup opener? Or has the captain's form and this public breakdown proven he's no longer untouchable? Write it down below. And if you don't want to find out about the next bombshell after everyone else, subscribe and turn on notifications now. Because when this fully blows up, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last.